The other part is when you talk in terms of that, it gets to something that is critically important and yet one of the most difficult things to get in, and that is governance.
Mm,
Okay, and family business governance. How a young person gets into a business, what kind of preparation needs to be made for them, what kind of entry point they can have, how long they have to demonstrate that they're going to be a leader in that business, okay, or not, what the criteria is for them to stay in that business, if they are or if they are not business leaders of the business, and what kind of parachute they can be given to get out of the business if they're in it, whether they should join at any point in time in their careers and a business situation, or whether they should make a decision and then stay with it. All those kinds of things that, with respect to family business governance, are critically important to put together, and then to implement. That's the next big test. But the biggest test or issue is getting it put on the table and then actually addressing it. It can take years, if ever,
yeah.
decades, if ever.
And to your comment, Ken, that governance, it doesn't matter if you're a small company or multi-global
Yeah.
billion-dollar, governance is important no matter what. I am currently taking my ICD course, and that in Canada's Institute of Corporate Directors,
Mm,
on the recommendation of my sister, who did it a few years ago. And now I'm starting to understand the importance of governance and the agenda
mm-hmm.
and the cadence at which we're meeting and what we need to talk about and unearth. If people that are watching this have no idea what we're talking about governance, is there something we could point a direction towards, or an article or a book, just so they can start wrapping their head around governance as something they've never thought about doing?
It doesn't come to mind immediately, but what does come to mind is exactly what you're doing, and that is if it's important enough to them, it's definitely worth their while to take a program on it.
Yeah,
There's all kinds of textbooks out there. I don't particularly have a favorite at this juncture. I also work internationally, so you have different rules and regulations with respect to the
that is
governance you
true.
need to put in. But the one thing that does stand out is if it's something that's of importance to you, meaning it's either not working or it's not been put into place,
Mm.
then taking a program or bringing somebody in who can do the assessment as to where you're at with respect to governance, and then the process by which you can get governance put together and implemented into your company or your family company is is definitely something very important. The issue about just going off and learning it about yourself is that you are still in isolation. You will have
Yeah,
an understanding of it, you'll have a learning from it, but there won't be any behavioral patterns that will come out of it. There definitely won't be a corporate or family corporate process that will assure there be the designing of it, and then the building of it, and then the implementation of it. And that's way bigger than just knowing about it.
yeah, and that's most likely why my sister said, "Hey, David, you're doing this. We're going to be two of the four that understands governance, so I'm not fighting this alone, right?" So
Yep,
this is
agreed. That's called the first level of return on investment,
yeah,
and to get to the fifth level, which is business impact, you're gonna have to get a few more people in the boat.
yeah, that's right,
In the
that's
governance
right.
boat. And if you're able to get somebody who can be objective, that's a critical part. And I recognize that a lot of most of what I do comes because yes, there's trust, but yes, there's also an understanding that I'm neutral and I'm objective.
Mm.
And I absolutely need to maintain that as I work with them, so they all realize, okay, I can come and talk to Ken, but he's not going to have drank the Kool-Aid from somebody else in particular. He's going to be understanding what is and prioritizing and explaining what the priorities are with respect to is this family business, or is this business, and what is he making us aware of. To have somebody like that with
Yeah,
you in your family business is an absolute blessing, because there's trust, and because the person can maintain that, and because you can help yourselves become more objective and neutral, because you don't have any of the other hidden agendas of the family relationship there, including sibling order.
yeah.